Well, it's me and Reese, knock knock, favorite cousin from Auntie You Even Know You Had. I'm 34 and a half. This is today's Gangster service announcement. It's Friday, May 31st is when we're doing this recording. When this will get released, probably Sunday. So you're probably watching this on Sunday, which should be June 2nd. You're already in June. We're in the future. We're in the past. But we knew he was going to give you this information. Because our interview flaked on us. We had an interview. He's going to talk about different lifestyles and stuff like that. People choosing different lifestyles. Why? But you know how that be when you get interviews and you try to line them up. People get nervous. Most people are not really into being on camera. They get afraid of that. It's scary. It took time. Even Reese, at first, remember you was at first. Was it comfortable being on camera?
No, I don't like being on camera.
Remember when you lived on what was the name of the place? When we was,
Burbank?
yeah, Burbank. Yeah, Burbank. You never would be on camera.
I was on there a few times.
Yeah, but you'd always be like, I don't want camera. So it took a long time.
I was too chubby back then. I didn't accept myself. But I accept my chubby self now.
Okay, let's get to it. 11 dead. This is 13 minutes ago. 11 dead after disgruntled employee opens fire in Virginia Beach Municipal Building. Virginia Beach Chief of Police Jim Carrezza confirms 11 people died in the shooting at a municipal center Friday afternoon. In addition, Centria Healthcare said 6 patients were admitted to local hospitals with related injuries. Police also confirmed the shooter was a public utility worker who worked at the site of the shooting.
At the beach. 11 people got shot and killed. So we moved from schools to beaches. I mean, I guess that makes sense because, you know, there's massive people at the beaches, so you'd be able to kill multiple people.
That's true. Good job. Not a lot of places to duck at a beach if you're doing
Yeah, that's true. You could just start opening up.
Is either drown
or get shot.
Or get shot if you don't know how to swim. Because I don't know how to swim, so it's like,
I'm swimming my ass off and hoping the bullet don't hit me. I had actually read this interesting news article earlier. It was in North Carolina. A 10-month-old baby died at a daycare center, choked on a pine cone. The staff at the daycare center gave him a pine cone, quote unquote, to play with. A 10-month-old baby? Why would you give him a pine cone? That makes sense?
That's weird.
And obviously you weren't watching the baby.
And then the baby chokes on it to death.
And dies.
That's a lot of choking.
So
that seems purposely. That must have been a little colicky baby. They said, you know what, we don't have time for this. I don't know why they would do that. That's the devil. An hour ago, imagine walking into an 11-foot alligator in your kitchen. That's what happened to these people. They walk into their kitchen.
And there was 11-foot alligator?
There's an 11-foot alligator on the kitchen. Picture of it.
Damn. I'm gone.
This was in Clearwater, Florida. I guess they used to seeing alligators in Florida,
right? They see them on their property, not in the kitchen. How'd they get in the kitchen? They left the door open and they just walked in there?
That's one of those Jehovah's Witness crocodiles, I guess. Just knocking. Just knocking until it gets in there. Investigators search for the body of 4-year-old Malia Davis in Arkansas. Good job. All right. The suspect of the disappearance of 4-year-old Malia Davis reportedly confessed to dumping a little girl's body in Arizona. Oh, man.
Well, to piggyback off the little girl one, there was a father, I don't remember exactly which state it was, but he was suffering that the mother didn't want to be with him anymore and decided to shoot his daughter, who was 2 years old, and then kill himself. I killed a kid.
He said it was an accident and that he dumped her body in August.
It was an accident. Did you dump somebody's body? Or is he saying the murder was an accident? He felt weird and dumped the body somewhere. Either way, how did you kill a 4-year-old? How'd she die? Everyone say how she died.
I guess he's a civil rights leader.
The guy was a civil rights leader?
Yeah, the guy who.
How did he kill her?
The Quad Nilly X guy. His last name is X, like Malcolm X. Not to say, like Tony, but it's just like that means something. And I'm gonna look into him more. We're gonna go into do some research on him.
Let me see. I got some stuff too that I've seen. Let me see if I can pull it up and we can talk about that while we're waiting to find out more about this article.
Yeah, the guy who did it is the leader of the new Black Panther Party nation in Houston, Texas. He's the leader of the new Black Panther Party. He punched the little girl to death.
You know how much you'd have to punch somebody to death? And a little girl? It's disgusting. But I have read this article yesterday that I found very interesting. In Baltimore, Maryland, the police were actually planting fake replica guns on people that they had shot and killed, so that way that they could claim that they were a threat for killing these people based on them having a gun, but they never had a gun. Police killed them, obviously, because police killed everybody. But then planted fake guns on them. But there was one guy who was being charged with like 12 counts of whatever with the gun, planting the gun on people. And there was more supposed to be charged with it. But, Baltimore has a very high crime rate to begin with. And then I read this other article today. It was funny because student loans is a very big thing and a very big popular topic these days. Being somebody who had to take student loans out when I went to college in order just to be able to go to college because, when you work and take care of your family and pay all your bills, you don't really have all the money to go to college. So people are actually fleeing the United States to avoid paying student loan debt. That's not crazy?
Seems like the smart idea.
They said the average amount of student loans is $70,000 to graduate with a 4-year degree. And that's on the lower end. So if you plan on going to school to be a doctor or lawyer or anything that's very high up,
well, you can make some money.
Over $100,000.
You can, yeah.
And they tell you, based on the article, that you should never take out more student loans than a first-year salary.
But you have to go to college. Right?
But you have to go to college. So how does that make sense?
Yeah, it costs more.
I just remember I had took this one. Just one of the classes I had took in college was microbiology, and it was for nursing. I'm studying nursing. One textbook for this class, and I was required to get 4. One textbook was $622 for one textbook. Used was $535. So what do you think you have to do in order to get a textbook? Take out a student loan. Because if you're not somebody who falls into the categories of full financial aid, you're not getting shit to help you. I even got book vouchers because I'm somebody who fell in that gap due to me having kids and stuff like that. I fell where I was able to get majority of my financial aid. But I still didn't, it still wasn't enough money to pay for my class, plus all the materials I needed for the class. I had to get a dissecting kit for the same class. That dissecting kit cost me $812 for a box this big that had about 8 tools in it. So if you average $800, that's $100 per little fucking scalpel. But I found it funny, as somebody, because they'll take your taxes, they'll garnish your check, they can put off They can put liens on your house, your car, anything you own, they will go after you for it. Being a victim of that, even though I was actually in a forbiddance program, which you're supposed to, for 3 years, you're not supposed to have to worry about your student loans whatsoever. But then I come to find out that they can sell your student loans to another collector, and your forbiddance is no longer transferred over to that other collector. So then they go after you for the money. And let me tell you.
That should be on John Oliver's show. I was trying to submit a story to him. I was on, because I watched Last Week Tonight. It's one of the inspirations for this show, like The Daily Show and stuff like that. And when I heard what happened in my babe, I'm like, I'm sure that it probably happened to other people too. And because of that, it's a good news story.
It's a great news story because people really count. When you work all year long and they take out your taxes, they're not thinking about what you have to do in order to survive throughout the year.
They don't care.
So when that income tax comes back, people depend on that. They depend on it to take care of their family. They depend on it to pay their bills. They depend on it to hold them over because a lot of, let's face it, a lot of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Some people can't even make it paycheck to paycheck because they have responsibilities. And unfortunately, if you don't have 8 kids and don't want to work, you can't get help. You go to social services and then, oh, you make too much money. Oh, you do this. But I pay for that. So if I pay as a taxpayer, if I pay into the system, why would I not be able to get benefits from the system? What sense does that make? But the people who don't pay into it are the people who can benefit from it. That to me is a fucked up system. And, we're very big on the criminal reform because obviously the criminal and the justice system is really fucked up. I have read this article the other day about a man who has spent 32 years in solitary confinement. The man went to jail for a drug charge. While in jail, he had killed the first inmate. I guess due to whatever, they couldn't prove, beyond a reasonable doubt that he actually did it, so it was dropped. He was transferred then to another prison where he had killed, to do his little 3-year bid for drug sales or whatever, he had killed an inmate and an officer. And at that point, they said he was no longer safe for anybody. And they put him in solitary confinement for 32 years, and he died in solitary confinement. What the fuck would solitary confinement do to somebody for 32 fucking years? You're sitting in a 4x6 cell for 23 hours a day. Do you know what that does to your mental? I don't know how somebody could survive 32 years in solitary confinement.
Not at all. They say 15 days is all it takes to drive you crazy. That's what they call it. The United Nations, which is the lead idea of what is considered. I see it. What is the lead idea is what is considered standards for human, treatment in general, the treatment of people. And they say that 15 days in solitary confinement is all it takes to make a person go crazy. So when you think of multiple years, or first you go to multiple months, then we think about multiple years. That's how many 15 days is that? I mean, it's only.
You think, everybody says, I'm 30 years old. So I could imagine 32 years you're living in a 4x6 cell and you're allowed out of your cell for 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day for 32 years, you're allowed outside of that cell. To me, how is that helping anybody? You're not helping nobody.
You're not teaching a person how to live in society.
You're not teaching him, when did he get his fair shot to be reaccumulated into the jail system, quote unquote jail system, to even have a chance to prove that he was no longer a danger.
Even if you don't think
their thing is, we can't risk it because they don't want nobody else getting killed. But at the end of the day, how fair is it to somebody that they have to sit in a 4x6 cell for 32 years?
I mean, you think about the jail system, think about society. If we're trying to prepare somebody for society and we can't even control, and we can't even get them controlled in jail, how can we ever think they could be a member of society? If we're making them worse by putting them in situations
and they're not giving them an opportunity
to get better or worse.
To get better. And I was actually just reading another article about this lady who was running for office. And one of her big things was that people should have an alternative program besides going to jail. which would be a rehabilitation program as an alternative not to go to jail. So that way they can be rehabilitated to the society. And what we noticed is that a lot of people end up being repeat offenders because what criminal records do to your life. If you have a criminal record, you can't get a job. If you have a criminal record, you can't, how you make money? If you can't get a job, like, I mean, yeah, there's a few places that will still hire, a felon, but how many in all reality will hire a felon?
And how many of them are really jobs that you really
And how many of them are jobs that are not slave? We're all slaves unless we own our own business, period. So I'm a slave because I work for somebody else. And that's the fact.
But it's levels of slavery. We already know that too. There's also levels of slavery.
What type of job is that felon really getting for the few places that are offering him a job? You're not getting a job like myself, being a non-felon. You can't get the same job I get. You can't go be a doctor being a felon. You can't go.
You can't really get a chance. You're
not getting a chance because this is put on your record. And my thing's like this: if somebody goes out and sells weed to somebody who wants to smoke it, how come they get in trouble and the person that buys the weed don't get in trouble?
They do. They find out.
They don't always get in trouble.
But they find out.
They're going after the person who's selling it because it's a crime to possess.
Yeah, they're more concerned with the. You're right. They're more concerned.
But 9 out of 10 times they're more going after the people who are selling.
I agree. They are more concerned with distribution.
But if you want it, why the fuck am I going to jail for selling you something that you want? That makes no sense to me. Drugs to me is a very, very hot topic. Because.
But like even the feds are famous for going through a person's phone contact list, and everybody in the phone, all the customers, everybody is fucking on the case now.
And I get that. But my thing is like this. Everybody should have the right over their own body. It ties into that whole new abortion thing that's going around on all these fucking states where women can't have abortions. But it's your fucking body. You should have the right to do with your body as you please. No one stops people from going to get plastic surgery. You're altering your body. So why is that not a crime? But somebody that was raped can't have an abortion, or somebody that is not financially secure, or somebody who doesn't feel that they are going to be a fit parent can't go have an abortion.
But they can get their penis cut off.
So to me, it's really fucked up when you should have the right to do with your body as you please.
There's a real mental illness called body dysmorphia, which means that you are disrupted with the idea of your own body. You do not like it, and because of it, you may want to be a different gender or even things like that. I'm not saying that is the whole reason for homosexuality or people have homosexuality. I'm not trying to circle it all into one area, but I'm just talking about specifically body dysmorphia. When you go to get a sex change, they try to make sure that you don't have body dysmorphia, even though they end up most of the time realizing that you do, and they still let you get it anyway.
It just, to me, is crazy.
Because it's almost fake obvious you have it because you're trying to change your body.
What do you really have control over if you don't even have control over your own body?
So it seems like you can choose a bathroom you want to use if you want to use a girl's bathroom, but you can't choose to not bring a baby there. They decide what they want.
And there's multiple reasons people have abortions. Some people, they don't want kids. Some people, they get raped. They don't want to have to deal with looking at a product of them being raped every day. Some people know that they're not going to be good parents, and they know that they can't offer a newborn baby anything in this world. We live in a fucked up world. So some people face the fact that me bringing in a child, I know I physically can't take care of that right now. So they should have the right to do so. Yes, I do kind of agree with the fact that they should not be able to do abortions after a certain period of time once the baby develops. But then again, I feel like there should be also stipulations to that as well, because some people's bodies don't show signs and symptoms of pregnancy like others do. Being somebody who has my daughter, and I didn't find out I was pregnant with her until I was 5 months, being my body didn't change the normal things that it's supposed to change when you're pregnant, so I feel like there is stipulations to that. But at the same time, if you can get plastic surgery and change and alter your body, you should have the right to do whatever you want. The fucking pharmaceutical company is one of the biggest fucking drug dealers out there. They're not giving you medicine to make your body better. They're giving you a medicine to get addicted to it. So that's why you keep buying it from them so they make money. Let's face reality. How can you change high blood pressure and diabetes? You change your diet. You don't have to go on medication. You change your diet and change. High blood pressure is caused from what? Diabetes is caused from what? Unhealthy eating, obesity, too much sugar intake. So there's things that you can physically do without taking medication to reverse those things. But no, the pharmaceutical company is not going to want you to do that. They're going to want you to give them insulin. An insulin pen on average costs $260 for one insulin pen, which contains roughly 15 to 20 doses depending on how much insulin your body needs. They're not giving you that insulin to help you, really. They're giving it to you so they can continue to get your money, so they make money. High cholesterol. Lower your salt intake. There's so many things that you can do naturally to change a lot of things that they're prescribing medication for. So if they are okay to sell drugs, why can't the next person sell somebody a bag of weed that wants weed? I got to go sit in jail for 3 years because I sold you a bag of weed that you wanted. But my things like this, weed should be legalized anyway. It actually has been proven statistics that weed, there's one that really think that it might help cure cancer. That's crazy to me. I read an article about that the other day. They said it helps with seizures, it helps with Parkinson's disease, it helps with Tourette's. So something that's naturally grown, that we're not adding anything to, why would that not be illegal? You're going to tax it the same way that you're taxing cigarettes and alcohol. That's what you're going to end up doing when it's legal. So you're still making money. So why not something natural? Why? Because it's not as much money as something that they're putting chemicals in to alter your body. And they're not just altering your body. They're putting chemicals in there to alter your brain, become addicted to this stuff to continue to get your money. And people aren't awake to that. People are just like, oh, I need this because I'm overweight and I have diabetes. I need to have insulin. No, you need to change your eating habits. And I guarantee you, if you ate a correct, balanced diet, your diabetes would eventually probably go away. You can't go to the store and buy a decent romaine lettuce without spending $5 on romaine lettuce, but you can go to McDonald's and buy a $1 cheeseburger and a $1 fry. That makes sense? When our world struggles with obesity, like, let's be honest. They feed you shit to make you buy medicine. So I would like to know everybody else's opinion. Well, I know a lot of people's opinion, weed should be legalized. So that's not the opinion. But just opinions on the criminal justice reform. I'd like to hear people's, what they feel. Do you feel it's right? Do you feel it's justified? Do you feel it's fair? I'd like to hear people's opinions on the pharmaceutical company. Do people agree with the pharmaceutical company? Do people feel that natural remedies can help your body before medication can? If you think about it, years and years and years ago, when the indigenous people were here and the Indians were here, they didn't suffer from so many diseases. Why? Because they weren't offered all the shit that they're pumping into your bodies now. That wasn't around back then. There wasn't medicine back then, and people didn't carry diseases. So where did all of a sudden it come from now? And when you go get blood work at the doctor, unless you physically see them testing your blood, do you know that they're giving you the accurate information? They want your money. So do you know that they're not telling you that you have diabetes just to get you to give money? Why? Because they're going to have follow-up appointments now. So they're going to want to see you every 3 months to test your A1C and all this other nonsense. So if you're not physically there to see them testing your blood, how do you know it's really accurate? I can hand anybody a piece of paper with any number on it I want. Does that mean it's accurate? No. You're going based off of what you say the lab people tested. How do I know they didn't test your blood versus mine and gave me your results?
You don't know.
The same. Studied a lot of healthcare. And to me, there's so many natural things that people should try before being put on medication. All you're doing is feeding into the government, and that's what they want. They want money. But they're not willing to give you that.
Frank Lucas also died. The first real American glorified snitch died today at 88.
What did he die from? Just curious.
I think he died from death.
Well, obviously.
I heard
what caused his death?
Dying.
Really? You see the shit that we gotta deal with? What caused his death? He died. Well, obviously he died. That's how he became dead.
What caused his death? He died.
But was there a disease linked to him dying? Oh, quote unquote.
Dying. Life. The life. It's called life.
I mean, he was 88 when he died.
The disease of life.
He was
88. So it was like
the oldest actual man living that died. He was 168 years old in India. Quote unquote. This is an article. I don't know how true it is.
Look. Wait, I'm sorry. That's a good. I mean, I apologize. I'm not sorry. I'm great. I apologize. But this is funny. So you see the thing we just did just now? She asked me, how did he die, right? And I'm like, the nigga's old. He fake died from dying.
He died of natural causes.
He died of life. So wait, no. So it goes, Frank, famously played by Denzel Washington in the 2007 movie American Gangster, died in New Jersey. According to his brothers, we told Frank was being transported to the hospital for an unknown health issue. So they're taking him to the hospital. They don't even know why. They're just like, he's old. Take him. Take him. He's going to die. He's dying. And he died on the way. Lucas rose to power doing heroin in Harlem in the 1960s and 70s. He boasted of cutting out middlemen by buying the product directly from Southeast Asia, then smuggling it back to America. If you've seen the movie with Denzel Washington, you know the whole story about how he went over there, bought some stuff, brought it back, got arrested by a supposed cop who had also found $1 million, but then turned it in, so he's supposed to be considered a great cop because he was unbribable, and then he ended up sending up a bunch of illegal cops who were doing stuff like taking bribes, and he ended up doing a lot of snitching. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, I hate it. I don't want to be mean.
See how this plays back to what we were just talking about? Unknown causes, right? And what else?
But it's funny, he is a rat. He's from North Carolina, and I heard about the thing where they were talking about Force 38 and all that. But they saying it happened too fast and whatever. But you just gotta all I say is that we all gotta just come together as a people. We can't be snitching or worrying about where we come from. We gotta police ourselves. You know what I mean? And he took away opportunity for people to police themselves because really he told on fake good cops. To some extent, a cop who takes a bribe is more of a good cop because he's going to allow things to happen in the neighborhood based upon certain things, and the things that he's going to allow to happen can be also beneficial to that neighborhood. When people were allowed to do illegal businesses in their neighborhood more constructively, with more access, the neighborhoods were affected by it. There were block parties, there were things that was wrong, money, everybody was giving, everybody was living. I'm not going to say that nobody was ever flexing on each other and stuff like that, but in general, the idea of wealth was spread throughout the community when people were allowed to move a certain way. When you had what they call men of respect, that's what the mafia was called, men of respect. Those type of people would control the neighborhood and make things go a certain way. People wouldn't get robbed. People would get robbed, certainly if they did certain stuff. I'm not going to say that everything they did was to be glorified. Obviously, there's a lot of things they could have did that we could all make decisions and go, hey, but so did the American government. If you look at everything they ever did, if you look at anything anybody ever did, I'm sure that there's stuff you can always say that person's negative or bad, whatever. The point is this, is that when you think of the idea of what it means to be honest or be great or to try to produce greatness, it's always going to be things that people can say negative about you. With that, we have to know that a cop is a person, and a person who commits crimes is a person. And neither one of those people are more important than either one of each other. They're both just handed some shit. A cop is handed a badge, a criminal was handed a life of crime. You can say, oh, everybody who's a criminal wasn't complete impoverished, and everybody who could start to commit crimes didn't have a complete legitimate reason. Remember, legitimacy is another thing based on perspective, your view of it. Even if somebody did it for the thrill, to me, that might not seem completely legitimate, and it might seem crazy somebody doing something for the thrill, a rich kid going to a neighborhood to start selling drugs. Like that Chicago rap, I told you about the nigga that was missing. Chicago rapper, he's a nigga from Chicago. If y'all see him or if you see this video, if you're not dead, please, they looking for you. So, you're missing.
You know who else is missing?
GME Bands.
And they just found this couple. Did you hear about the couple that they found in Dominican Republic? Dead? But they were missing from the United States?
Oh, good job. My cousin just went there. He came back there.
To me,
he must have bought the timeshare.
I'm assuming that they went to the Dominican Republic and something occurred there on how they became dead.
Yeah, hope not.
Because if somebody was able to smuggle 2 people to the Dominican Republic and kill them, I don't know what's going on there.
In a boat, it's all type of shit you do.
So, I mean, I'm just saying I have read
international waters.
But they were quote unquote missing, but they were found in the Dominican Republic, but they're from the United States.
That was crazy. So that's a lot of the news for Friday. I might just release this with no fucking thing on it, just old school, because then this is big screen anyway. No title screen on. I'm just gonna put the end cards on it just to get it out to you guys. I know y'all niggas went there. We don't get no more of the GSAs fast like on that night no more. So I'm gonna release this tonight then. You know what I mean? For the people who really support the channel, because it seems like we really getting the good support going. Also, music news. Carly B dropped a song called Press.
Unfortunately, we cannot play it.
Unfortunately, we can't completely play. I'm gonna give it a listen and see if I like it. I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna listen to the song and see if I like it, and I'm gonna come back and say. After one listen to Cardi B's Press, I really can't say that I would play it again. I'm not the craziest Cardi B fan. I did fake like that song she did with. I like some of the stuff she says a little bit. I don't know. It's really awkward. I don't know how to explain it to you. So I'm really sexist and chauvinistic, and she raps from a girl's point of view. So because of that, and probably solely because of that, it's just hard for me to get with it. Because I'm not gonna put myself in the position of a woman.
And as a woman, I'm not a big fan of Carly B either, and that song was not something I would repeat listening to. And I feel like women sing from a woman's point of view or rap from a woman's point of view, where a man does the same thing. A man raps about what men do and what men like and what they do in their lives. And so, to me,
I'm not denying that.
That's just part.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that at all.
I don't think that that's the reason to base on music. If you're talented, you're talented. I did kind of fake like the song that she did with DJ Khaled.
If she's rapping about sucking dick, you understand why I wouldn't really want to hear that song?
Yeah, because you're not obviously sucking dick.
You don't get what I'm trying to say?
No, I do get what you're saying.
You don't think this?
I do get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that, to me, that is not the sole reason of me not liking music. That's your personal opinion, and this is where perspective and opinion comes in. His opinion is because, he's sexist, and, my opinion is that that's not basing off the song I don't like is because she's coming from a woman's point of view or a man's point of view or whatever. I fake kind of like the song that she did with DJ Khaled a little bit, but I'm not a huge Carly B fan. I think that she fake kind of, to me, she don't even have a voice really to be a really good rapper. And to me, women rappers are a little funky for me anyway, because to me, women are not really rappers. Women are more singers than rappers. And she's just I'm not a big fan of her. And that song, to me, yeah, she had 1 or 2 lines. It was like, all right, that's, fake decent.
Yeah, she did have some lines that was fake decent. I like the line about starting a hashtag. She gonna kick a new bitch ass, start a new challenge. That was fake. That's a fire online. If you fire big line, fire sig line. Let me not downplay. That was a great one. But she had some lines that I did even fake like. That was funny, but I mean,
that's what I'm saying. She had 1 or 2 bars.
I was tight when she won the Grammy over Nip. Lonely the Great. That makes me want to do that. So I want to give y'all a song that y'all should check out from Nipsey. A lot of people doing Nipsey quotes. I see that on Facebook and different stuff, but all they're doing is taking a picture of Nipsey and
putting it with a quote.
And putting with a random quote. I'm gonna tell you a song that I really like, that I always, definitely listen to. That always gets me going. I'm gonna do a song every show that I like. And try to put a song, try to include it. If I forget, curse me in the comment section. Because maybe you don't know a lot about Nip. Maybe you just found about him as a new fan or whatever. Maybe he wasn't into his music as much or whatever. But I'll give you a song that I really like. I'm saying Crenshaw is the album, and the song I'm gonna tell you is No Days Off. No Days Off on Crenshaw. It's featuring, I think, Jay Stone and two, and Kavi on there. One of their best songs, greatest songs together. Net market, heat market, and I think it's just a motivational song to listen to in the morning and any other time during the day. So definitely get that song to play. YG album is out.
Before you get into YG album, Another song by Nipsey Hussle that well, not by Nipsey Hussle, but that he is in, is Higher with DJ Khaled and John Legend. One of my favorite new songs. He really is talking real honest in the song, and it just, to me, it's crazy how much it links to his actual death at that point. That was before the 3 days before he died, correct? And it really touches me. And, you know, when I listen to a lot of the Nipsey songs, because in my house we play a lot of Nipsey, a lot of what he's saying is really valid, true statements. And he's not just singing about rap. I mean, he's not rapping about drugs and money. He's rapping about real life. And he, you know, he has bars in some of his songs. Like the one he sees it from a bird's eye point of view. If you really think about that, people are just thinking like, oh, he's high up, and really, that links to him being dead right now. Where is he? He's in heaven. If people believe in heaven, if they don't, whatever, his soul is higher up. He's seeing it. So to me, that links so much to his death. How did he, on a track?
Definitely.
And that was one of the things that really stood out to me. He's seeing it from a bird's point of view, or bird's eye.
Me. I talked about that. Tupac.
So to me, it was like that just really stood out to me. And if you really listen to his music, it can touch you, and you really can learn things from it. Somebody who just listens to a song is like, oh yeah, I like the song. Are you really truly listening to the song? Sometimes people just listen to the song, but you're not really listening to the song. And I think a lot of times the music is meant from certain people to really actually teach you knowledge. Not just to be a club song where you're shaking your ass or your titties or whatever you're doing in the club, grinding, popping, twerking, whatever you want to call it. Some of it really is to gain more knowledge about life. And sometimes when you're younger and you know you don't always want to believe and you don't always want to learn, coming from somebody who hated history in high school, and I just had this conversation with him the other day. I hated history in high school. Hated it. I never paid attention. I was like, why is this shit so boring? And I never realized how much shit relates back to history until I got older. And now being older and somebody who didn't really listen back then, I really wish I did pay attention. Because I could have probably gained a lot of knowledge and been a better person or had better intentions or better things throughout my life if I really would have just understood the underlining statement. And not, you know, sometimes the big picture in there is underneath. And you really got to listen and dig deep down to get the message of what's actually being said. And, you know, my daughter, she don't like history. We had a conversation about that the other day, and I tried to explain to her, you know, being that I actually lived that, the importance of actually knowing history and how much it's going to help you in life. Somebody who thought, oh, it's history. It's back in the day. It's never going to help me. Why do I need to know about it? I really didn't realize until, you know, as I got older, how important it really is and how much it connects to the world and society we're living in now. We live in a fucked up society, and it's only going to get worse for the generations behind us. So as the older generation, our job is to teach the younger generations and give them the tools and the knowledge to become successful where they're not working for somebody else. Because in all reality, unless you're working for yourself, you're never going to be as successful as you should be. Because somebody else always controls your life at that point. I have to get up and I have to clock in by 7 o'clock in the morning. I have to clock out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I have to take my lunch at 12 o'clock. If I worked for myself, I would be able to choose when I got up and went to work, what time I took a lunch break, what time I decided I was stopping for the day, what people I was going to hire for my business. And if people really just thought about it and gave more people opportunities, the world could be a better place, and you would solve a lot of issues that are going on in the world. And we were talking about that, you know, people that are being given roles in multiple movies and are millions and millions of dollars. Why are you not giving that opportunity to somebody else? Somebody else deserves that opportunity so they can be successful in life. He sent me something on YouTube the other day that said, you know, people really do have one natural calling in life on what you're supposed to be and who you are. And everybody has that talent. What is your talent? I would love to know what people's talents are. I would love to know what you feel your ultimate purpose in life is. To me, it's a very good topic. I would love to hear people's opinions on what you feel your ultimate purpose in life. What do you feel like you can give back to your life that is going to be beneficial to somebody else? I don't want to own a business just to support myself. I want to own a business that I work for myself and support myself, but I'm giving back to the next generation. My children are going to be set for life. I can give back and I can hire people who maybe are felons and give them an opportunity that somebody else is not going to give them. Because just because you're a felon or just because you went to jail doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you chose to do something in life at that time that you thought was your purpose. Maybe somebody feels their purpose was to be a drug dealer. Who am I to tell them that's not their purpose? So I would love to hear in the comment section, please tell me what you feel your purpose is in life. And I will be sure to address all your comments and I'll give you my feedback and my opinion on what you feel your purpose is. And
that is true. That will be the Gangster service announcement for tonight. Remember that being a gangster doesn't mean being a hood among thugs. Being a gangster is being a rebel, living by your own code, setting your own rules, having your own principles and morals. Remember, you know what righteousness is because it's inside of you. Don't let no one try to alter your idea of what is righteous and what isn't. That's what people want to do. They want to confuse you. Confusion is the key to winning anything. Confusion. I just got a suck sometimes, so I'm confused. But